Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at 5.
A former president of the United States spoke to hundreds of people today in South Fargo. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Bill Clinton's visit and rally at Rowe Farm was to gain support for his wife Hillary's run for president. North Dakota Democrats have their presidential caucus on June 7th, and 23 delegates are up for grabs. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop joins us live from South Fargo, where everything has just wrapped up. Ashley?
Yes, Andrea, everything just wrapped up a few moments ago. Former president just actually left the area here. He after his speech, stood around for about 10 minutes taking pictures in the crowd with people, which had people very excited. But through his speech, he talked about several things that his wife can do if she was to be president of the United States. He said that she is a doer and will get things done. She has an economic plan. Also, she has the background on foreign policy and how to handle the inequality that is going on in this country. Coming up tonight on Valley News Live at 6, we'll have a little bit of sound from the former president on what he had to say, and also a little bit more about his shout out to Carson Wentz here today. Andrea?
Okay, thank you so much, Ashley. Clinton's visit today comes just 1 week after Bernie Sanders held a rally in Fargo. And the crowd started lining up early to see the 42nd president of the United States speak at Rowe Farm. The sun, the clouds, the warm temps had many people smiling and in good spirits as they waited to get inside. Valley News Team's Bradford Eric is live outside the event with more for us. Bradford, you said one man lined up at 8:30 this morning.
Andrea, that's exactly right. Everything just winding down here at the rally. Traffic is quite heavy as folks are looking to exit the parking lot, and that's mixing with kind of the rush hour traffic here on 25th Street South. But you're right, a man well known to around the area, Mark Lindquist, was the first in line bright and early this morning. How often does an ex-president speak just a block away from where you live? That's Lindquist's argument as to why he's been camped out.
I'm totally excited. Absolutely. You know, it's kind of like a historical moment for anybody to get to see a president, and being first in line, I hope to be real close.
Ice cream good?
It is good ice cream.
What'd you get?
It's just homemade ice cream with chocolate and peanuts, and it's melting very fast.
Others like Jackie Munter and family were taking advantage of the food vendors offering up delicious treats to folks waiting in line. And while Bill was here to raise support for his wife's campaign, other folks weren't fazed by his somewhat checkered past.
Although he did make a failure with Monica Lewinsky, and he should be judged for that, that doesn't represent Hillary Clinton, and it should not ding his economic record as president.
Things are just wrapping up here. The former president, Bill Clinton, is just getting into his car, and his motorcade is about to exit Rowe Farm here. As you can see, still a lot of folks hanging around, a lot of folks exiting the parking lot, and still quite a number of people who actually parked over at the Family Fair parking lot across 25th Street, and they're making their way across there. So if you can avoid this area for the time being, that's probably a good idea. Reporting live in South Fargo, Bradford Eric, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Bradford. And stay with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for more on today's rally with Bill Clinton in Fargo. Work on some railroad tracks in West Fargo is what fire officials say started a grass fire this afternoon. Crews were called to the fire at 9th Street North along the railroad tracks and bridge around 1:30 this afternoon. Multiple fire departments responded to the blaze and were able to get it under control, preventing it from spreading to heavy equipment nearby. The West Fargo fire chief says dry conditions did not cause the fire. Authorities are investigating a boat collision that left several people injured. It happened last night on Gull Lake near Ernie's on Gull. Crews who responded to the scene found the boats and the people involved on shore. Several people were treated for injuries and taken to Brainerd Essentia Hospital for further treatment. Here's a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Joseph Rohr is wanted for a probation violation on felony possession of drug paraphernalia. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on him. A breezy day with pop-up showers in some areas, but what about tonight? Here's Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with a look at tonight's forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Andrea. Well, the weather is a little gray outside, and as we look at our tower cam time lapse from this afternoon, we do have some high clouds passing overhead. But no rain showers are really showing up on the radar for the majority of our area. Out to the east, we have a few green blips out there. We cannot rule out 1 or 2 thunder sprinkles this evening, and they'll be just that, a quick, brief sprinkle. Temperatures are generally in the upper 60s and low 70s. It's 80 in Williston. Your planner shows temperatures in the 70s through 8 o'clock. Then after sunrise, we dip into the 60s here in the FM area. Grand Forks will be in the 60s by 9 o'clock as well. We'll have a southeast breeze under 15 miles per hour. Lakes Country, more so in the 60s through the majority of our evening. This weekend, we have heat, we have wind, and we have a chance for some strong storms. And again, with the heat and the dry air in place, that fire danger, as you mentioned, remaining pretty high. With the wind, they could get out of control quickly. We'll have an update on your hour-by-hour forecast in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Hutch. Tonight, we can reveal what may be a major secret to many anglers across the Northern Valley. The Department of Natural Resources has been working on its latest fish survey. It appears there's some fantastic fishing in the backyards of thousands of people who may not even realize it. Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us what's happening and why.
The DNR has been placing nets out on the Red Lake River around Crookston all week long. This survey is to capture, count, and measure the catfish population in the Red Lake River, then release them. They're also catching walleye and all kinds of other species.
We set nets like these at specific points on the river, primarily targeting channel catfish. We measure it, weigh it, and then we also take the spine right here. We can use that to determine an age, approximate age on the fish. So then we can look at growth rates, how good reproduction is, things like that as well.
Now here's the exciting news. Ever since a dam was removed here in Crookston in 2005, the populations of different types of fish have exploded. It opened up 130 miles of river between a dam at Thief River Falls to where the river empties into the Red at East Grand Forks.
In that specific year, we surveyed, their DNR crews did a survey above the dam and found catch rates for walleyes increased 5-fold within a few months after that dam was modified. Before the modification, we'd maybe catch 1 or 2 channel catfish in the entire survey. Now we catch hundreds of channel catfish.
Wendell says it's rare they can pinpoint the effect of removing a dam here in Crookston that has caused such a massive growth in the fish population along such a long length of one river. In Crookston, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
The DNR says its survey shows the average catfish in the Red Lake River around Crookston is 12 to 28 inches in length. The average walleye is 15 inches. Next week, they plan on stocking sturgeon in the river near Red Lake Falls. It's one of the top visited sites in the United States, and it's right in South Dakota. 3.3 million visitors. That's how many people last year gazed into the eyes of 4 presidents carved out of granite. Mount Rushmore is celebrating 75 years since construction was completed. The monument averages 28,000 visitors in the peak of their summer season.
We have many people that are coming. They came here as a child, and now they want to bring their children and take the picture in the same place that they were standing. It's a family heritage site for the people that live in the Great Plains.
To see more of the sights of Mount Rushmore and how they preserve it, go to valleynewslive.com and click on this story under the Valley Today tab. In tonight's What Is It? Downtown Fargo has another pop-up business, and this one will quench your thirst. Brews on Broadway is now open in the old Schumacher Goodyear store at 409 Broadway. It features cold beer and live music through October. Hours are 4 to 10 p.m. every Thursday, Friday, and select Saturdays. But make sure you bring the green. It's cash only at the pop-up patio. From the some of the things teachers do to keep students interested as the school year winds down department, a car show, and it was quite an event. About 60 vehicles of most any stripe, tractors, motorcycles, and hot rods on display at Fargo South today. They belong to not only students, but alumni as well. And even some of the teachers brought their pride and joy to be a part of the event. Some of the young people in South's Automotive Technology Department even built a car from scratch as a class project.
A lot of these kids are in the auto program here at Fargo South, and we've had kids do everything from full engine swaps to ignition changes. So we just give them a chance to show off their work and show everybody how they can get it done.
By the way, all these wheeled masterpieces aren't restricted to Fargo South. Students from North and Davies also are a part of this annual event. which is celebrating its 12th year.